Hello, my name is Michael. I'm the owner of Change Cars and the host of the TV show All Things Motoring. I have one mission, and that is to make a difference to the motoring public. Making a difference how? Making sure that you have safe options, making sure that you have knowledge. In that regard, it is my absolute pleasure and privilege to work with Alan Rosenmeyer of Motor Matters. The man with a hat, I'm the man with no hat, he's the man with the knowledge. Thank you for watching.
Nissan family face, it's very familiar. You can see the V shape on the grille over there. And nice little skid plate at the front over here, because this is the 4th generation X-Trail. One of Nissan's most successful models, and Nissan will tell you probably one of the first medium SUVs that was available in South Africa already in the early 2000s. This is the 4th generation model that was launched during last year, but we've waited quite a while to get ourselves a test car. It's a pretty handsome looking car. You've got very nice daytime running lights up at the top over here and your headlights over there. So all the features you want to expect from a medium family SUV at the upper end of the range, because this is the top model in the 3 model range. They term it the Accenta Plus. And Accenta Plus does give you some features that are unique to this model only in the range. We'll talk about that a bit more. You've got nice significant black cladding over here around the wheel arches. It runs across the bottom of the doors as you expect, and pretty nice 19-inch alloy wheels. The two-color, two-tone as has become so popular lately. And notice you have got a fair bit of clearance on the wheel arch over there as well, which is an important feature if you want to maybe go off the beaten track a little bit, because one of the unique features of the Accenta Plus is it has all-wheel drive. No, it's not an off-roader, all-wheel drive, and it's a permanent all-wheel drive. It certainly is very, very good, very useful on dirt roads, as I didn't experience on this test, but we did experience on the launch a couple of months ago. Let's have a look in the back seat over here. Open the door and opens nice and wide. Notice it opens to a 90-degree angle, which gives you way better access. Another feature of the Accenta Plus only is it is a 7-seater. So if you want to access the back row, first of all, you can slide the seats forward and backwards, which obviously is very useful. And then what you would do is flip the backrest. I'm not going to climb into those extra seats for you today, but just showing you the fact is you can vary the legroom for the rearmost seat. But what I do want to show you is, let's just have a look here now quickly. In this format, and with the seat as far back as possible, with the car as a pure 5-seater. This is what I call legroom. Look at that. That driver's seat is set for me. This is really, I would say, almost segment leading in the market. There's no doubt about it. You've got a pair of USBs down there for the back seat, and you've got air vents. So again, very, very neat, very useful, and very practical leather upholstery throughout. So it's useful, it's neat, and it's very, very family orientated, functional in that sense. Let's come round to the back, have a look. You've got your integrated tail lights over here, and you'll see coming around the side and into the rear hatch, which is becoming a very popular design. Nice spoiler over the top, and a very significant, again, rear skid plate over there. These are all things that do make a difference. Something that does surprise me is top model at this level that it doesn't have an automated rear tailgate. It's not a big deal, I know, but I'm just pointing it out to you. Somehow expected it on this car. Not serious. Right, I said to you, those are the extra 2 seats in the back. I'm not pulling them up now, but you know how they work. They just flip out over there. No problem, no issue whatsoever. Tiny little area over here. Now, remember the fact, like every other vehicle in this category, I'm not picking on this one, 7 seats, no boot. 5 seats, this is in my way, but this is a 2-Allen boot, comfortably so, in 5-seater mode, which means you get plenty of space. So that's nice as well. So there you go on that. Now, I've got to make the physical effort of closing this thing. The whole range, all three of them, are powered by a well-known, and it's been around for a long time, 2.5 litre 4-cylinder petrol engine. It's been upgraded slightly, puts out 135 kilowatts, 244 newton meters of torque. I said to you just now, all-wheel drive, so driving all four wheels through a CVT automatic gearbox. And I bet you, unless I tell you it's a CVT, you wouldn't even know it. Let's check it out a lot more. Out on the open road in the country, just coming back from Harties for a change in the X-Trail. The 2.5 4-cylinder petrol engine, 135 kilowatts out of it. It's a good power output, and they've actually increased it from the previous versions, which is nice. The car's got a bit bigger, it's a lot more comfortable, it's a lot more luxury, and of course in top Accenta Plus spec it gives you everything you could possibly want out of a car of this sort. So that also helps a lot, it really does. And it's competitive, it's smooth, it's comfortable. We discussed it a lot at the launch, and I'll discuss it again now, that a diesel version I just think would really complete this range. But that's a personal comment. CVT automatic, you wouldn't even know it's a CVT unless I tell you. It really runs beautifully, smoothly, comfortably, and you can't tell it's a CVT. And it's got lots of luxury, it's got lots of comfort, it's got everything you can possibly want. It's got obviously all the safety spec as well in this top spec model. So it's a very, very competitive package. And I think Nissan deserve to sell a lot more of them than they are currently doing. So I think it just needs a lot more marketing, and I think this car could be much more successful in the general market. But let's just see. But it is a lovely cruiser out on the open road. You can see it just almost floats along. It's a very, very smooth and comfortable ride overall. And when you want a family SUV, that's exactly what you are looking for. So there you go on that. Okay, so behind the wheel, we've done, 357 kilometers on this test, and we've averaged 9.9 liters per 100, 202 kilometers still left in the tank. It's very basic instrumentation, but what more do you need? 9.9 liters, let me tell you, predominantly urban driving, not as much open road as I would like, so I would say this is probably as bad as it gets on this vehicle. But that is one of the things of that 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine. Now you can just see in front of me, heads-up display, nice as well, and a nice feature to have. Accenta Plus does give you other features, like, for example, you do have active cruise control, you've got blind spot warning in the mirror, you've got all those kind of features as well. So it's got all the safety spec, and that's one of the reasons why you would choose the Accenta Plus. In the center here, you've got a nice big 12-inch infotainment screen, got built-in navigation, and let me tell you, it connects beautifully using a cable to Android Auto. It also gives you obviously different camera functions there. You've got the overhead camera, things like that. So you know what these are about. I don't have to spend too much time on all of them for you. They are standard, but they're really nice. You come down, you've got your dual zone climate control over there, and unusual placing of the stop-start button for the engine over there, and 2 USBs at the front. Nice place for your cell phone over here. Interesting shape for the gear shift for that CVT automatic transmission. And over here you've got your terrain, different terrain settings for that all-wheel drive. So you've got sand, mud, etc., etc. You know what they're about as well. And in the center there is your hill descent control for going down steep downhills, off-road, etc. Electronic parking brake, which is useful as well, and a nice sized center console down here. Something else you have got is, have a look there, this is the 2 height, or you can call it what you want, but you've got that hidden lower section to the center console as well. Very, very neat center fascia over here. You can see you've got the stitching, and then the almost fake wood trim, I don't know what you want to call it, but it all looks very neat, and I can tell you it's very, very well put together, very well spec'd. Surprised a little bit it doesn't have a panoramic sunroof, which seems to have become almost a requirement in this market segment these days, but not on this car. But anyway, you know what, you make your choices. you know how life goes. And little paddles for the CVT transmission, which I do find often a bit of a conundrum with, or a contradiction with CVT gearboxes, whether you actually need paddles or not, but they're there. So enjoy them if you feel like it. Now, I mentioned earlier the 2.5 litre 4-cylinder petrol engine is strong, and they've upped it a little bit. The previous version was 125 kilowatts, it's now 135. And it pulls this car very well, nicely, adequately. But I would say in this market segment, it's a touch heavy on fuel. A lot of competitors are more economical than this. And I'm quite sure in the Renault Nissan stable, there's got to be a nice 2-litre diesel that they could fit into this car. That to me would really fit this car so much better. And you know, if you watch my channel, you'll know I have a little bit of a thing for diesels in SUVs. So that's a personal preference, but that's me. The range starts at about 675,000 Rand, all with that same engine and transmission combination. You go to the Vizier, which is the middle model, at 735, and then this one comes in at 795,000 Rand, which is very competitive in this market segment. Personally, if I could, I would find the extra money for this top model based on the all-wheel drive and some of the extra safety spec you get. And maybe if you really need the 7 seats, well, then this is the only one that gives you that option. So those are the choices you make once you've decided you want this car. The segment of the market is so full of competitors, so full of options. You know who they are, you know exactly. But I can tell you, the X-Trail in its earlier generations was a very, very big seller for a very good reason. Check it out. See for yourself. I would say if you're in the segment, go and test drive one. You owe it to yourself. For Motor Matters, I'm Eleanor. See you next time.